What's Gaelic?
Yeah, well, that's a
like
good point.
AFL and that.
No one gives a fuck about Gaelic, but no one watches that, you idiot. But yeah, but like, good point. What about Gaelic, Bailey? Bailey, have you considered the fact that Gaelic could be the next? Nobody fucking cares about Gaelic. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Bailey Talks, episode 24, I believe. I'm coming off the back of two very different podcasts, Sienna and Sharpie. Literally like two polar opposites. Sienna was very, Jacob, you could agree, very spiritual, open-minded, cool to hear her story about the original influencer world, her starting off on Tumblr, moving to Instagram, to Sharpie, who was like, mate, just a big ball of energy, Sydney vibe, and how he's taken off with the punt game. And now we've got KP and Blake. Boys, thanks for being here today, gentlemen. How are we?
Very well, thank you.
Good, doing all right.
It's good
KP?
to be back.
Good, mate. Good to be back as well.
Mate, we can recap. How was the weekend? Obviously, Blakey, we caught up yesterday.
Nice little swim.
Got some sun, mate.
Little swim into the both of our teams' trials.
True, which we were just chatting about as well.
Yeah.
KP, obviously, few busy weeks for you, mate. Preseason, Mary game, a few things I want to ask you there, obviously, but in particular, yesterday's game, final leg of the preseason, setting you up really nicely for round one, mate. How'd you feel the boys were?
It was good. It was a good hit out in terms of what you want to get out of a trial. You want to have a look at what your footy looks like, and I think we executed that in terms of, you know, our D, our game plan, all those things.
Yeah,
you can't sort of put those things on with a shit attitude. So it was good that we rocked up with a good one.
How, like, I know it's just a preseason game, but like, is there a bit of something before the game? Like, are the boys?
Yeah,
like,
I was nervous. I was probably more nervous for that game than All Stars.
True.
Yeah,
That's
I was pretty
interesting,
nervous.
eh?
I think just first hit out with the boys. I've worked so hard with them for the last 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. You know, you don't want to go out there and...
Yeah.
You know, plus last week's performance from them or from us wasn't great. So the All Stars is just... You're just riding on passion. You don't know much about the blokes next to you, so you know. There's not that much on the line. Whereas you've put so much into it's only a trial.
It's very different, hey.
Yeah, it gives you sort of a feel for how the next. Hopefully.
And I do want to talk about the Mary sort of week leading up to that, what it meant for you and the family. But I do want to touch on. Go back a few steps back to preseason this year. Mate, look, some would say you're a bit of a vet now. You've done a few preseasons, mate. You've been doing it for a few years. How...
Blakey, how old are you?
At 27.
Mate, we're nearly older.
We're nearly 30, mate.
I was going to say Blakey's a vet. But we're all pretty much the same age, aren't we?
We are. Yeah. How was this preseason in comparison to previous? Any new challenges for you? Does it get any easier? Can you hide it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't because the standards keep getting higher. So the game's getting faster. Boys are more athletic. I'm not a vet yet. I think I'm sitting in that sweet spot.
You're in the middle, aren't you?
I'm sitting in that sweet spot where I can dip down and talk to the 20-year-olds, or I can rise up and talk to the 34 or 5-year-olds like Frizz and that. So I'm in the sweet spot at the moment. But yeah, the standards just keep getting higher, harder. You want more from yourself and the team, and because of that reason, it doesn't get any easier at all.
And one thing I know that stuck with me a little bit was when, mate, we did the what's it called? Not the beep test, the freaking Bronco. And you were saying how when you first started doing that, the times were like...
Mine was so bad.
Really quite slow comparison to now.
Like kids, not kids, but 18 to 21-year-olds are getting 440s. If you get 450s, that's bad. You know, 430s, people like kids are getting. When I was that age, I was like I got 441 and I thought I was the man. So, but that's pretty slow now. So the game's just getting faster. And
Blakey, you had to go the other day at the Bronco, mate.
Did you?
Oh my gosh!
Man,
I didn't hear about this.
He was waking up a few.
I don't even know what it was. I think I think I just broke 6 minutes. Mate, and it was so funny lacing up the boots. Bonnie's there. Bonnie come with us, and I was like, nah, like I'll be right. But it's like, true, mate. Honestly, all of my cardio will it's pretty much just involving playing, like walking.
Yeah.
So
It's
different. You can walk.
It's literally a lot different.
Yeah, you can walk and keep your heart rate down for so long.
Yeah.
But And all of my gym stuff is so explosive and like there's zero cardio. It's just like 3 reps as hard and as heavy as you can go, as fast as you can move.
Jacob, are you cracking 7 minutes, mate? Are you?
Mate, I'm probably 7 minutes to the bloody fridge, let alone a Bronco.
But like Charles
Depends what's in there, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends what meal it is.
Absolutely.
Dessert.
If it's Kalen's
PB.
block of chocolate, I'm in there.
Yeah, I'm
It's
in
a
there.
PB to the dessert.
Mate, me and Kalen's biggest fights have been me eating his chocolate in his fridge and him having to leave the
You
house.
come home from
That's
training.
so
Come home from training. You know there's 2 pieces left, and
He sets me up.
you're like, "Fuck, I can't wait to go home and have this, and it's not there, and this fucking
Mate,
prick is
he sets me up.
smiling.
He'll
That's
leave.
unreal.
Okay, if
He'll
he
leave the
goes to
house.
training, he'll leave 1 square there. Don't leave 1 square. Just eat the square. You know it's not going to be there when you get home. Like I'm going to eat that square.
That's unreal.
Does need to do cardio? Like does
Not really. Like
Yeah.
I think a good piece of cardio for golf would be, you know,
longer
36 like walking 36 holes. So play 2 rounds in 1 day. That gets you going. Like that's mentally at the end you're like just drained, you know. So I think that's. But yeah, in golf I don't think. I actually my point was actually like I want to start doing something like that, like the Bronco, because it's like it's not long distance running. Like I don't need that. I still want something like that's still you know, fast twitch kind of thing.
Do many golfers do cardio? Like, do you reckon they add that into their
I think
program,
that
or
probably not.
is there not much need for it? No?
There's not much need, but I think for overall general health, it's kind of like, you know, you still need to be fit. Like you'd be surprised how high your heart rate gets when like, mate, sometimes I check the heart rate while
She's
I'm playing,
up.
especially in the heat. Like
That's a
humidity.
3-footer. That's what that is. That's not the
so
cardio.
That's the first T-box at Newcastle. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But it's a different
That's a
feeling.
3-footer when Bailey's looking at you. Mate, fuck off.
6-footer at what was it
I've
to
been
beat
through
Gags?
all those. Oh, that was.
His heart rate was high when he won.
Mate, and then when he really bashed me in the clubhouse, having a beer, sitting there going, I shouldn't have chirped him so much, but you know what I'm like,
No,
boys.
you know what
You
you're gonna
definitely
get.
shouldn't have.
Nah.
It's gags.
Gags. You just got to know
I
sometimes.
love that.
He's
And then when he
he's the
called
most
me out and said, I'll
competitive-
fucking flog you out in the course, I just looked at Kale I'm like, shit. I'm just going to go to the bathroom, boys, lock myself in the cubicle.
That's so good.
That was a great putt to win, though.
That was
Mate, I gave that some sauce too. Hit the back of the cup.
Back of the cup.
Well, I
straight
actually
in.
go back and watch that video sometimes
Yeah.
when I'm bored.
You have to.
Is that weird?
No, that's good. I like that. Before bed.
Mate, it gets me to sleep every night. KP, I just want to ask you quickly with preseason, any people or any of the boys who stood out to you, anyone excel this year in particular? I know a few of the younger boys, not younger, but your likes of Dill, Croaks, those boys who you've been playing with for a while, but now they're sort of reaching that next phase, playing a bit more. How are those boys going? Anyone stand out to you this year?
Yeah, I think Dill's found his feet in this team.
Yep.
Especially in the back row. He'll learn that role in terms of his physicality and mentality. He's there. It's just about knowing your role, and now just through experience and reps, you know, he'll get better. I thought Kai was good. He had a great preseason. His second year, sort of getting up to speed. I reckon coming over from England, it takes him a couple of years. Like you look at Dom, his first year, he was terrible.
Yeah,
And then his second year was sort of his
Had a blinder,
breakout. So I think Kai will be good. I hope. I don't hope, but Fletcher Sharp. I do hope. I want him to have a good year.
He was awesome.
Just because he's a good lad,
Young,
good footy
Cessnock
player.
lad.
Yeah. Got like obviously Croaks and Brody Jones and Hetherington, those sort of boys that I think we need to step up this year, and no doubt they will. They've had a great preseason. So,
What about your likes of? I know I always ask you too, and you always give like Frizz and Gags a rap. Like they just they just get it done, and they're respectfully
they're just
getting older.
They're just dogs, aren't
And
they?
they just-
like Frizz. Just I think he was injured or something the other day, and I wasn't training as well.
Yeah.
So I went for a swim, and he went and jumped on the cardio bike for 20 minutes. Like, just have a rest, mate.
just relax, mate.
Just have a rest, you know. And that's just the way he is. It's built into his like every day. Like he would be like that. He'd always have to be on top of things, and he's done it for so long. You look at Gags, he's getting better. You know, the last 2 performances in trial and All Stars.
Yeah.
You'd think he's like a 18-year-old kid that's fighting for a spot. So I don't know. It's just the way they are. They're just programmed like that.
They really pride themselves. I know Gags for sure, like, just prides himself on, like, watch me go. Like, I'm getting better. I love that. That's cool.
It's almost like he doesn't let age be a factor. He doesn't care how old he is.
If someone says to him, like, what, you got a year left, he'll go and play for 3 more just to, just to prove them wrong, you know? That's Gags' mindset. But they're just ultimate competitors at the same time. Like
so sick. And it was, I tell you what, it was so sick watching him and touching on the Maori week for you, watching him in that arena with you, like being able to go travel with him and Leo and a few of the boys, come up against Dill. And what do you think? Because, I mean, Gags has been playing rep footy literally since when I was young. I was watching Gags.
We used to watch him play
100%
Origin and that.
Yeah.
When we were like 18.
When we were young, like, it was like Gags.
Yeah.
Like, he was that
Follow
guy.
Gags.
Follow Gags. Like, and he's still doing it.
Yeah.
But in the Maori arena, like, just seeing the passion through his eyes and even like that last effort to save that try, like that's that's like the 1%. Like, that's a great example of like who he is and how he competes in the arena. But KP, can you run me through a little bit about that week and what that meant to you? I know that's really big for your family. And I think I saw in particular with you, like, a lot of passion as well. Like, it means a lot to you actually being out there, and it's so cool to watch you go out and do your thing and see your family, quite emotional. And what was that week like for you with the Maori and the All-Stars this year?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to connect to my culture, obviously being over here for so long and my dad being over here for so long too. It's not like I've lost connection, but it's, I guess it's worn thin a little bit. But being back in that camp just reminds you that just because I can't speak the language or I'm not around it all the time doesn't mean it's not in my blood. So it's an awesome reminder, and the boys in there are funny. They're like family. I think it's a proud moment for my old man. You know, his family or my family being so rich in Māori back home. For them to watch me in those colours is pretty special. And you're just so invested, so passionate about it. Obviously, Kaylee going back home to learn was inspiring for me. I sort of spoke about in camp in front of the boys, not to be embarrassed that I'm not around Māori all the time, or I don't speak it, or, you know, I'm not sort of actively doing it every day. But being in that camp, I said that to them and put my walls down and just opened up and just got around everyone, spoke to everyone, tried to make sure I got as much out of it as I could. And the second thing is I got to represent my family and showcase my skill in the colours that probably mean the most, you know. Like, you can play for your club, you can play for a country, but to play for your people means more. So that was cool, and that was sort of a big, not motivation, but a big part of why I wanted to be in there. Is like, everything that I am is because of my culture and my family. So I want to do them proud and play the way I play in these colours. And we had like a jersey presentation, and boys spoke about their culture or their family or their kids, and like a few tears from the boys just because of like their kids, to see them in those colours and in that jersey is a huge moment for them, and it just means so much. Like, it's so much to the people that are on board, to heaps of Māori kids, Indigenous kids, and it's quite interesting. Like the NRL is they're not trying to change the game or take it away, but there's obviously other games on the calendar that probably mean more to them, but that just shows where I feel like Aussies are, you know, like, because this is the Indigenous, this is from both countries. Like, it should mean a lot to them as well, but that's a whole bigger topic.
It's a good point you said, because I agree with you. Like, you obviously grew up pretty Aussie. Like, you were here. Born here, so like being around us.
I speak like it, like, you know what I mean?
Like,
and
up in Queensland,
my slang is like sometimes like a black fella.
We went to school in Townsville. Like, that was like what we
yeah.
did at school. Like, you know, growing up in Australia, in Queensland, in a place like Townsville for years, Mackay, and places like that. Like, it's just bogan footy. It's you know, so
yeah, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Stuff like that. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I speak like that. Yeah, and that's what going into it, this was years ago. My first time going to that camp, I was sort of not embarrassed, but I was like, I don't really talk, I haven't been over here for so long. But it's not about that. Like be proud of who you are.
True.
Yeah, it's not about how much of the language you know or how long you've been in that place. It's your proper culture, So it's like it actually is quite inspiring for someone like me that is kind of Aussie, doesn't have that background. It's like to see all of the lead up to that game and what you boys do in camp and stuff is like it's pretty unbelievable.
Both sides too.
Yeah,
like that Indigenous camp. I reckon if you were a part of it, it would be it'd be amazing as well.
Even in the stadium, the fans for the Indigenous side,
they were loud.
There was a big difference between
respectfully, is that?
Literally the Indigenous side of the crowd was even just reading out the names at the start of the game, it was
when
noticeably.
They did their war cry. War dance.
That was cool. That was, and yours was a bit different this year.
We had the tires, so the sticks. Yeah, so we learned that. We learned that week.
No way.
Yes, and so we did. It was Haka practice maybe 4 nights.
Yeah.
And I nailed it. I was like going into the game. I was like, I've nailed. I know what I'm doing.
Confident.
Now just put some mana and put some heart into it. And as soon as I got into it, I forgot the actions. I missed one of them, which is like kind of the first one that sort of anchors you in, and I missed it. And I was like, oh. Fuck.
Yeah. Commit.
Yeah, just stay in it.
Leading up to it, I was like, mate, how many, in front of the mirror, you're at home, him just in camp by himself. He just be in the mirror, how much are you practicing for that, mate?
Heaps, all the time. Every time I walk past it.
But it was so cool being at the game, and watching that live. On the TV, it's still amazing. Yeah. But being there and watching it was full goosebump moment, And obviously betting as well with Keanu Keeney. Is that he's his name? The young fella?
Yeah.
How was he? Yeah, he's a little whippersnapper.
Yeah,
he's going well.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a good player, man.
Fiery,
Titans were on fire the other night.
They were good.
Yeah.
Not good for my Bailey's picks. I had Dolphins.
Yeah,
we had Dolphins,
yeah.
I think you're the only person who followed me that day. I was like, surely a few of the... Did you follow me?
Fuck no.
Good. I would have picked Dolphins, though.
I reckon I'm going to start doing pick the opposite of what I pick, boys. Listen, Bailey's picks this week.
No, we nearly got there.
Bailey's picks this week. So if you put a multi on, we're meant to pick the opposite. What do you mean? 20
Just
points.
trying to trick.
Tatum 20 points. What are we supposed to?
Under 20 points. Under 20. Well, I say over, you go under. But
yeah, he's a good kid. Real good kid.
He was good bunk with, but it was nice to see you as well. I know your dad's super passionate about all that stuff, particularly with the culture, and to see you connect with him at the end of the game. He was quite emotional, and the big fella. That must have been special for you.
He cries for certain things. I think he had a few tears out. I think, he's proud. He's even started texting me Māori words now. Morena, which is good morning. Kia ora. But
what do you say back? Hey, bud.
Yeah. Hey, mate.
Storm, bruh. Storm, bruh. Storm, bruh.
Yeah, so it is a proud moment for me. He's just got so much family back home, so he'd for my name to be our name, to be on the back of the jersey is pretty cool too.
Yeah. Dad texts him, says, "What's doing?" He's like, "He's old." He's old. In his old. In his old. That's literally how I talk to Gags. I think he thinks I'm weird, but KP, tell me about physically you this year, mentally, physically. How are you feeling yourself? Obviously, a bit of confidence going into round one. You got a break this week. Tigers at home, round one next week.
Strap yourself in,
which
mate.
Which will be good. How are you feeling physically, mentally going into this year? Obviously, you said you were tired in the preseason game, but you looked pretty fit.
How
are you feeling?
I feel good. Good physically, mentally. Just obviously hungry, but. You know what it's like. It's a long year.
Who knows what's going to come?
Who knows, mate? Strap yourself in.
Highs and lows.
Could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Take each thing as it comes. Just stay focused. Stay driven. I have a pretty solid routine now in terms of footy and life. So just stay consistent with that.
Yeah.
But physically feel good. Team, I think we're in a good place.
One thing I love that you've shown me, or something that's resonated with me that you've spoken about, is being like taking the good with the bad, taking the highs with the lows. Something we can definitely agree on.
Don't ride the highs.
Just stay.
Don't
dwell
be in the
too much.
lows. Yeah, just try and stay neutral. Something that you could probably get. Bailey playing golf is a whole roller coaster.
Actually, you know what I posted on the story questions for you? One of the questions from Joel was like, me, you, and him at our absolute best.
Me.
I think so.
I think so.
Which pissed me off a little bit.
At our absolute best.
Yeah,
has to be.
I know it does. It does.
Is that what Joel
said? But the big lefty though, I'm coming out swinging the big stick.
Joel was way better than us at one point.
Was he?
Remember when he came for a trip down and he was just rolling putts and me and you were like, how does he do that?
Yeah, he has a nice putting stroke, eh?
He's got a nice stroke.
He does.
He knows how to stroke a putter.
Right.
Blake would know how to stroke a nice putter.
Actually, Blakey, I was literally on your page last night going back through your old videos and photos of you just putting. Can I quickly ask you about one tournament, actually? Because this was something I was stuck on for like an hour last night in bed. Literally, Samara's asleep. I'm just in bed on your page. I think it was in... Well, did I have undies on? No, I don't think I did. No. Who actually sleeps with undies on?
You were watching him stroke his putter.
Nude. Actually, now that you say that does sound a bit funny, doesn't it? You were putting. I was nude. Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Blake, but it was back. Was it China or Asia where you shot the lowest round, sort of 63? Yeah. Was that?
Yeah, Asian amateur.
Can you elaborate on that experience? Because in terms of what I was interested in was just the heat. You're on a heater. Like the putts. Mate, you were walking in 10-footers. I've watched one video.
It was just fun.
What was...
Well, to be fair...
can you tell us about that experience?
What does that feel like mentally? Where are you?
It's pretty amazing because it's like the best way I can describe it, I don't know if you feel this, but like it just felt like I was playing a video game. Like it was like I was playing a, Tiger Woods 07 kind of game. Shit. And it's just... It's so rare that occurs. Like, you know how hard golf is. It's like, it's so hard to match it all up together. So that was, in China, the first round.
Just feel like you're going to like make everything.
Are you just standing over a wedge? Are you standing over an iron shot and you're just like, like literally,
I know where this is
put
going.
up on the big screen, but
no, so that one, I'm pretty sure I think I laid that up. It was a second shot, third shot into a par 5, and I said to my caddy, I was like, I just felt, I don't know, there's a little backstop and I was thinking, I'm like, I feel good over this. I'm like, I just had this thought in my head, like, imagine if this goes in.
Really?
And it's so weird to like, you have those little thoughts and then I literally nearly hole it. I was like, oh man, I'm on. And then from that, it was like, all right, because it's like recognizing you're on and you're in a position to get ahead and plenty of opportunities. It's like, don't sleep on any moment. Kind of just like when you're over the shot, it's like we're making birdies because I've seen the other side of it where.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. The contrast between being in flow state and it's just routine versus like, holy fuck, I just need to get this on the green.
100%, and it's just one of those things. I don't even know. I'm still obviously working hard to figure out the secret. But it's definitely just like, it's one of those things. Sometimes I said in that last podcast, like sometimes you just going through your routine and there's just like a little bit more noise. That's the best way to describe it. And
true.
Yeah. Then obviously the contrast is just like, you're kind of like smiling. You have like a little like grin.
Yeah, when you're on.
This is going in.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've never told anyone that, but like over the putt, I'm like just whispering to myself. I'm like, and like smiling, like I'm making this, and just going over it. And then it's amazing how many times like under pressure, you have those nearly affirmations to yourself. It's like, I haven't even thought about those affirmations. I thought it would be a good idea once, and then I kept doing it, and it's like there was nothing else in my brain other than go through your routine, but this is rolling in the center. And then it just like would happen.
It's just going in.
Hectic.
That was cool. I was really enjoying watching those highlights, just seeing you just throw darts.
When you're in that, are there any doubts? And if there are you noticing them, or are you just literally?
No, there's plenty of doubts. It doesn't matter how good I'm hitting it. There's always doubts. It's just that they have their place. It's like it might be on the first tee. It's like you look at trouble that you can't go near because there's water the whole way up the left, and you need to be down the middle. You can't bail out right. It's like obviously you're going to be thinking about that, but how can we pick a small target and commit to that shot? Mm-hmm. Oftentimes it's like because you're trying to hit it down there and you're standing this way. It's like mentally and like on the angle with your eyes. It's like you're definitely looking a bit sideways.
It's looking bigger.
Yeah, so it's kind of like one of those things to like just, I think all you can do is kind of like what you said before is like just control what you can control and nearly just let the magic happen. Yeah. It's like you've done the work, let the magic happen. But I tell you what, it's a very frustrating game. It's like a couple of weeks ago, Vic Open, it's like my short game and my putting, it was so good. And it's like I just had those feelings like I was telling you about. I'm going to roll this in. And then I just didn't really miss too many putts or even chips. And my parents were saying like, oh, you know, your putting's good. You know, don't leave that putter. That's amazing. You know.
Yeah.
And then last week, the complete opposite. Like I hit it amazing.
Just couldn't roll a putt.
I could not read the greens and get a ball to go in the hole. And it's like, it actually made me look quite bad at golf. Like, do you know what I mean? It puts a doubt in your mind because you're like, no, 2 weeks ago, it was one of those things. So like, I didn't miss these putts. It's not, this is temporary, you know? And it's just how it goes.
It really highlights the not the importance, but the effect mentality, confidence has on performance.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. You feel like, I don't know. It's just such a hard one to explain.
100%.
Like the game, it rattles me.
Are you working with anyone on that side? Yeah.
I worked with Jared for a while. I worked with John Novak, Jonah as well, guy who works with Cam Smith and a few of those boys. But to be fair, I feel like I've got so much information off all of them and I have it written down. It's like
you learn things.
Yeah. And I'm trying to work out what parts of the things that each one of those guys has taught me that works for me, because I felt like I started to just like, you go a little bit searching, you go like, you see all these great mental coaches or life coaches, and then you can't just keep going to the next guy because you're just like, it's nearly like you're going deeper down the rabbit hole. It's like you need to use what they're saying and actually put it into action, find what works. But
you definitely have to find what works for you.
Yeah, 100%. You know? What about you? Do you?
I will this year. Yeah, I've reached out to someone.
Yep.
Worked with Jared, obviously. I think Jared, when I saw him, if baseline was like happy and, you know, I was below that when I went searching for him. And he got me up here.
Yeah.
You know, so I still use what he's given me. Last year I spoke to a lady for a little bit, and then this year I'll try and heavily invest in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Such
a big part of like,
of performance.
You reckon back in the day, like talking about how much, golf has changed so much since back in the day. Like footy has probably changed a fair bit as well. Like,
golf's it's a whole nother level, you know. Like I reckon mentally it's way harder. That's why my old man got me into it at a young age. It was for the mental side of it.
Wow.
Teaches you mental toughness, resilience, focus, being calm.
It's an easy sport to spit the dummy, mate. And I have spat the dummy.
When he used to chirp up early, I'd be like, I'm in a good place here. Like
I started my golf career with Kalen being like a good golfer, mentally like very resilient. Me just being a bit of a spastic, just swinging clubs, saying what I want. Like I learned very quickly the art of golf.
Don't get too chirpy. We're only 4 holes in.
It's a gentleman's sport. It's a gentleman's sport.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than sometimes when I've been out there with you, I start thinking like, how good would this be as content, like if we were mic'd up? Like people would love listening to Bailey just talk absolute rubbish. And then the highs and the lows, you know what I mean?
True.
It's so hard to talk like that.
Imagine
when his bottom lip's on the ground and he's not talking, he's sitting in his car staring. That's when I get excited.
The phone comes out.
It's so hard to not get really angry, let it ruin your day though. Yeah. As much as I'll go into a round and be like, even if I'm playing bad, I'm out with my mates, I'm on a nice course, I've just paid $150 to play 18 holes at the Vintage. Like, I'm going to enjoy my day, and your first tee off is in the piss. Like,
you can't enjoy your day after that.
How do you enjoy it?
It's tough because I think, it comes back to
it was a bad day.
The expectations. It's like, no, it's all good.
So true.
Like, whatever happens, and then you go out and then you start off, especially getting off to a poor start. It's like, it feels like your day's just done. I know that's a weak mentality, but like, it just feels like it.
100%,
right?
Mate.
It's so hard to make.
It does.
Live last year, I hit my peak in golf, right? I played Lady Links Bay. I shot a 79 off the stick, won the day. Yeah. Day one with the boys, me, Ben, Joel, Jordan. On top of the world. Home, how are you, boys? Want me to iron your shirts for you tomorrow, boys? What do you want me to do? Get you some water?
That's what I mean. See, he opens the door. He opens the door for when he plays bad.
So good.
That's why I double down,
mate. The next day, my first tee off, we played Mount Compass, like a pretty tough course, and we had groups behind us. It was busy. I was like, I was going to tee off. I said, boys, flip the tees. Teed off first. Teed off with a 4 irons, like a short par 4, like danger, high fescue, left and right. Yeah. Pulled it into the fescue. The boys that like Benny and that just didn't say anything. Like, wanted to laugh, and and then the guy behind us in the group was like, "Welcome to Compass, mate." Just said, "Welcome to Compass," and like with a grin on his face.
What were you thinking?
I turned and looked at him, and I nearly said, "Are you fucking serious, mate? Like, are you kidding me?" But
throw your club at him.
Yeah, me and Ben often talk about that guy's comments. We'll be playing and Ben will be like, "Welcome to Compass, mate." And I'll be like, "Oh, it's just stuck with me." What a trip.
That's amazing.
KP, just quickly as well, mate. Vegas. Footy's moving to, or it has moved. It has moved already, but it is hopefully going to grow off the back of this year as well. There was talk that we said yesterday, Dana White could be...
Yeah, well, I don't know
if that legit?
It was just content or what, but maybe they were just hyping it up. But apparently, that's what they were saying. He could possibly. I think it was from the UFC when he was in Sydney.
Imagine the big Trumpies around there.
Him, imagine, Trump. And
do you reckon it's important that we're trying to dive into that market? Like, do you think?
Yeah, I think I don't know everything. I don't know the facts or all that sort of stuff. But they're just trying to tap into the betting side of that market.
Yeah.
So if they can get 1% of that market to bet on our game.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is, but apparently it's huge money. I think that's the point of the whole thing.
Because the America punting or gambling, and this is what Shafi said last week to me. He said that traditionally in America, gambling is like
illegal.
It's like so frowned upon. It's like doing heroin. He was saying. He was like, in America, growing up,
it's only just starting.
It's so funny in Australia. It's like if you don't have a bet when you're 16, you like leave the room.
Like going to a pub, like
100%.
and having a punt,
having a beer, having a punt in Australia. If you're not doing that at like 18 as a bloke, what are you doing with yourself?
Yeah, I know.
Probably pro golf or like, I don't know, something like that. But he was saying how
probably chasing your dreams.
Probably getting after it, like being an actual good bloke. Probably got a nice missus and
probably saved heaps of money.
Probably have a house. Yeah, you probably just renovated your second house.
Yeah. Oh, well, you wake up and see sunrise. What? At 18?
What are you doing on Sunday? You going to paint your house, your third house.
Anyway,
who would want to do that? But he was saying how since the last couple of years in America, the punting world in America has changed dramatically with DraftKings, so their big bookies over there, and their ambassadors they've been getting. So your likes of Kevin Hart, LeBron James, all these massive profiles.
Yeah. Drake?
Drake
loves
it. Off the back of all these, apparently it is it's pumping bigger, in America. You think about America, like they're all pretty fat. Like America's America's fat for one. They're going to become fat and gamblers.
They're going
to become fat gamblers in America.
Fat gamblers. They'll have fat wallets and
fat gamblers.
No, but I'm pretty sure.
What do you think about it?
There's plenty of states that are starting to legalize it, because it used to be pretty much just Las Vegas.
Yeah,
that was especially even with one thing I forgot about. We went to a tournament in Victoria the other day, and I was with a few of the boys from Perth and stuff, and they're like, it was attached to an RSL club, and after our practice round, I go in, walk past the pokies, and all of the boys are on the pokies. I'm like, what are you boys doing?
Yeah.
They're like, we've just finished practice round, and they're like, bro, we're just
true.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah,
what a slap.
They're going honestly, no beers or anything. They're going, no, because they're like, we don't have this back home, bro. I'm like,
true.
Wait, what do you mean you don't have this back home? They're like, mate, I'm pretty sure it's just a New South Wales and Queensland thing.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, we're having a slap. I'm like, that's a bit weird.
Well, in different states,
it's actually at cafes in Australia. It's actually everywhere.
Sensible.
You know, it's actually next to the Portaloo these days.
It is bad.
It's everywhere.
A slap, yeah.
You go to Macca's in order. You can have a slap as well.
If you're a young bloke and you don't have 5 bookie accounts, like your phone, your top 3 apps should be Sportsbet, Ladbrokes, and Neds. And if that's not the case, we don't want to be friends with you. You're probably buying your 4th house, probably getting after it. You probably have a nice missus.
Where were these boys from? The ones that you were just talking about?
Perth. Yeah, Perth.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wonder what their rules are over there, because I know each state it's governed differently.
It's just that I'm pretty sure it's like I was touching on in America. It was just at their casinos.
Okay.
So it wasn't at
they
any
don't have
pubs,
pubs
or
and
anything.
that.
It's literally like you have to go to the cast to gamble.
But New South Wales so pub dominated. Queensland so many surf clubs.
Yeah.
That's their biggest source of income. Like apparently I'm not a pub owner, but
and the licenses are quite expensive to own.
Sam Earp was telling me that they're like 150 grand and like to get your license to have a few. And apparently they don't keep remaking them. Like every pokie machine, if you want to buy one, you've got to buy it from somewhere else.
Yes, exactly.
So like they don't keep creating them. You've got to if you want to buy 5 pokie machines, you've got to find another pub or somewhere where you can buy them from.
Yeah.
It's not like they're just printing pokie machines.
So someone that had a lot of cash back in the day, it's like a bit of a monopoly on it.
100%.
That's what I've heard.
Owning all the if you
and
have
then
like
they
40,
sell off a couple and
because they sell for heaps.
Yeah.
Because it's just free cash, really.
Damn.
But back to the Vegas point, which I was wondering, do you think there's space for another sport in America? Because like they've obviously got their
exactly what Kalen was saying is like it's not that it's gonna be the next NFL. I think it's a win if it's only a couple % of the population of that market. But that is a win, you know?
You know how Live Golf, right, has obviously separated from your traditional PGA tour. Do you think there's opportunity for something like that with league or other sports? Like, could there ever be an international...
Didn't it happen back in the day, kind of? Or with the
Super League? The Super League,
there was a small version of that, like... But I think it would be...
The actual game, though? Do you mean like the actual style of the game? Changing the format?
Yeah. Like if someone from Dubai comes over to you, mate, knocks on your door, KP, mate.
Yeah. Well, that's the
Sage,
big
mate. We're moving, mate. Come on, mate. We're moving, Sage.
I've got this brown bag here, mate. This is one. The other one will be down the road.
That's what
we want to start a new
the Saudis
league.
Like that's what they've been doing with Live, and I think they tried to buy F1 maybe.
Yeah, righto.
Something like that. They've done stuff in. Well, you see the UFC are taking their fights over there, the boxing fights. They've pretty much paid for Fury and all those guys to be fighting each other, which doesn't typically happen in boxing, you know. Like
I just think the world of sports, it's advancing so much. You think of like the power sup competition now. Yeah. Like Conor McGregor, mate, I don't know what's going on with him right now, but you look at the bare knuckle competitions, the slapping competition, like it's just entertainment, but you sort of wonder whether league, or in Australia, we haven't really seen, like Liv has been a little dabble in a few of the Aussie players have joined that league, but I wonder whether any Australian dominated sports, AFL league.
Do you mean like a mix of a traditional sport?
Yeah.
What's Gaelic?
Yeah, well, that's a
like
good point.
AFL and that.
No one gives a fuck about Gaelic, but no one watches that, you idiot. But yeah, but like, good point. What about Gaelic, Bailey? Bailey, have you considered the fact that Gaelic could be the next? Nobody fucking cares about Gaelic. Never start ever.
If the Saudis come over, mate, and they said, "Here, mate, here's
but all jokes
here's
aside,
a bag for you. You have to go play Gaelic."
That's what I mean.
Over there.
That's what I mean, though. Like,
would you do it?
Yeah, BJ, Gaelic.
Oh,
I'd have to consider it,
that's
mate.
fair.
I'd have to consider it.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is,
to answer your question, I think that kind of stuff is.
I just wonder.
That can come out of the blue.
That's what I mean.
Like, especially with exposure from, say, if Dana White. Well, he's made comments on the league before and said he's like potentially going to Vegas for the.
Do they have a rugby league in America? Would there be a small?
There would be,
but no one obviously cares in America because they watch NFL, NBA, whatever. But
yeah, there would be.
I wonder imagine if they created like an international league,
right?
Like Live is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and like one game every month,
and you travelled around different
weeks.
places in the world and had like these mini league weekend tournaments and had the best of that. Like you think about some of the Super League players. I don't know Bevan French. I think he's a player, but he's a player, isn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know why he just sprung to my mind, but think about the Super League players. There's obviously some of the old dogs, Mitchy Pearce, or I don't think he plays anymore either. But actually, he definitely. Actually, I saw him last weekend. Anyway, my point is, I wonder whether that's something that could ever happen with league in particular. Gaelic.
I think on the point, they're just trying to get a percentage of that market.
Yeah.
Maybe in years down the track, maybe. If anyone's going to do a rip-off or a different version of, it's going to be America because they do everything bigger and better. Like,
True.
And that's not going to happen over here first.
Yeah.
It'll happen over there. But they're just trying to get a percentage of the market. I think the Knights are meant to go over next year.
Is that the Whispers?
Whispers, yeah.
Okay.
So save your pennies,
Hopefully.
mate.
Yep. I will be.
Save your pennies.
That's a great excuse to go over to Vegas.
So
Take the sticks.
Oh, yeah. You probably would have to, wouldn't you?
Mate, there's some good courses over there.
My old man would be going, so you definitely have to.
You would, wouldn't you?
Andre will be taking the sticks.
Yeah.
He'll be playing golf every day, I reckon. Trying to find a course somewhere. And
imagine how nice the courses would be.
Mate, there's some elite courses. I knew, one of the boys that I play with, he went to the I think he went last year and he played like Wolf Creek and a few of
the big ones.
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to go over next year.
Next year. Do you know who else?
Sorry, I was saying he went to like the TPC Scottsdale Waste Management.
Yeah, wow.
The party hole.
That's crazy.
Like,
I saw the hole in one the other day, last week, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Who was it? Who hit it? I had the hole in one. And then just throw the cups all on the...
Oh, you mean at Live?
No. Oh.
Yeah, that was at
you
Live.
meant at Live.
But was there one...
Patrick Reed.
But
there was...
Was there another one at Waste
as well? Yeah, there was,
Because I think there was,
I haven't been watching too much golf, but
yeah. That's crazy.
Sorry, you guys go
What
on.
was I saying? Any other team? Do you know anyone at other teams that might be going next year?
No.
So Whispers could be Knights hopefully next year.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
That'd be sick. KP dangers this year with other teams. Any
bold
teams?
predictions?
Yeah. Well, that's the new segment, guys. Welcome to Bailey's Bold Predictions featuring KP. G'day, guys. Welcome to Bailey's Bold Predictions featuring KP and Blakey Windred. Gentlemen, this year with that's a nice little segment, actually. Bold Predictions. I might write that down. Bold Predictions.
I was thinking about one this morning.
Yeah.
I don't know when it was, actually. Might have been this morning. I'd like to know, in every year of the NRL, has a coach been sacked?
Oh.
So my bold prediction is this year, no one's going to get sacked.
Wow.
It's going to be a great year. Everyone's going to perform well.
I just think that's so unlikely.
Can you bet on that?
Just
create a market.
I'm sure you could.
Bailey's picks.
No NRL coach to get sacked this year. I think that's paying big odds.
Gosh, it's hard to when I was looking at the ladder last night just for the preseason games. I'm like trying to pick who would be down the bottom of the table. I'm like, honestly, this feels like the first. Maybe it's just the first year since I've taken notice, but like I'm like, there's usually one team that's like proper rebuild. It's like experience year.
Well, do we have
everyone looks pretty strong.
Boys, off the back of that, do we have a top 8 that we want to run through very quickly? Yeah. I know I've got mine. Blakey, have you got a top 8?
Yeah, I've got a top 8.
KP, you can just give me your top 8, mate, off the back of ours. But I'll give you mine first. Give you a chance to have a think. But this is my bold predictions for this year for the top 8. I've got, and this is in not really a particular order, but sort of. I've got Melbourne at the top, Broncos 2. I've got Dogs 3. Got to put Penrith in at 4. Manly, I've got a very good side on paper at 5.
Who's 3? Dogs.
Doggies, Bulldogs. Manly at 5. I'm putting the Sharks in at 6. And actually, I need to change that. Chooks are not at 7. They are gone after yesterday. Damn. So Knights are going to go 7. Game, and then I'll throw Dolphins in at 8, even though they were pretty dreadful yesterday too. But that's my 8 boys. Melbourne, Broncos, Doggies, Penrith, Manly, Sharks, Knights, and Dolphins at sneaking in at the 8 spot. Blake?
Yeah, mine's very similar. Mine goes Storm and Bronx. Yep. And then Penrith and Sharks.
Penrith, Sharks, top 4, yep.
Yep. Then I have I have I had the Chooks, but Chooks have dropped back to 8 for me.
Oh,
it's gotta
no.
Got to be in the 8.
Yeah.
All right? I'm not letting them fall out. Come on, one game. Manly.
It's a trial
It's your
match.
team, mate.
It's a trial match, mate. Come on.
Put them in 9, mate. Put them at 9.
Manly at 5, Dogs at 6, and Eels at 7.
Wow.
Chooks at 8.
Eels at 7.
Yeah, I've just gone.
Maybe that's not a bad
I was just
call.
looking through. I was like, obviously, it's so injury dependent. You know?
It is, isn't it? It is hard to know. Jay, have you got a top 8 for me?
Yeah, mate. Yeah. I got one. Mine's a bit out there, so bear with me.
Outlandish.
All right, a couple of bold predictions. First of all, I reckon the Dolphins are going to get the spoon.
What?
Yeah, that's my prediction. Uncle
Really?
Wayne gone. Yeah, watch him crumble. All right, so top will be, I reckon, Storm. I reckon they're going to get it this year. I reckon people are writing off Penrith too low. I reckon they're going to come second, fight for first again.
Yeah.
Mate, Cleary at the helm. He's just a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
Don't know how I feel about this one. Nico usually lets me down, but I've gone Sharks 3.
Yep.
Bronx 4.
Yep.
Up the mighty red and blue at 5th. All right,
Lovely.
KP, so fucking pull your weight. All right, we got the Doggies at 6. Manly 7, and here's the bold one, so bear with me. I reckon...
Don't say
put it-
rabbits.
No, fuck them. No, they're gone.
Good.
You're going to hear it here first. Luai putting them on their back. Tigers top 8.
Wow.
Yeah, I reckon Luai over there, he's going to really open up Lockie Galvin. I reckon he's going to have a really big year.
Yep.
And Taruva out in that wing. Top try scorer this year, I reckon.
Wow, that is
Nice.
a nice prediction.
That is bold.
Yeah.
I like that it's
like
a
it.
bit
I reckon.
different.
Yeah.
I like that.
KP, can you sling together an 8 for me? Who's your
not
one,
in
mate?
order.
Okay, no, that's fine.
Not in order. Melbourne, Broncos, Penrith. Who's... I'm not going to say... Oh, maybe Sharks.
Yep.
I'll say maybe them top 4. Maybe.
Yep.
Us, obviously, in there.
Yep.
I would like to... We need to be in the top 4.
Yep.
I think Dragons make it in.
Ooh.
I take Dolphins out of this one.
Yep.
I'm just looking at this list here. Dogs, that leaves me with Dogs, Manly, and who else?
That could be 8. Isn't
Dragons. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So instead of Dolphins
Okay.
in there, I reckon Dragons.
Dragons.
I've liked watching them over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I reckon they've recruited really well.
pretty well.
I just don't know the depth of every team. That plays a huge part in all these results.
True.
Like you look at
Injuries.
injuries.
Look at my Chooks.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Have they got depth?
I was thinking
Oh
yesterday,
my
bro.
gosh. Nah,
Like,
they lost. Mate, they lost.
He-
Yeah, they lost like 7 or 8 players.
But once Brandon,
True. Sammy Walker.
Sammy Walker comes
Yeah.
back, they're still
Do they come back this year?
Yeah.
Do they still
Yeah,
come back?
round 8, I think.
Round 8,
Or
all right,
round 8 or 10
Yep.
to 10.
Yeah.
I thought they would have performed a lot better, Roosters, yesterday. I thought... I know it's a
10
trial. I know
in
it's a
the
trial, but...
bin's hard.
Yeah, that's true.
Early
It does
on,
take a
too.
lot
is
out
true.
of you in a preseason game.
$3 was disrespectful in my opinion on
Yeah.
PointsBet. $3 for the Knights in the
Nice.
preseason game.
So you had
there was a level of
He had a lick on that.
Yeah.
Sure.
there was a level of disrespect.
He had a lick on that. Look at him.
You're not if you have a Knights against
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. If they're against anyone at $3, that's getting
Melbourne,
touched.
something.
True.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who.
I was
Can put
riding
it-
them home yesterday. Don't you worry. I nearly had $800
You
come up
did,
yesterday.
hey?
Really?
Fucking KP.
Yeah, you had Kevy for a double.
KP double.
That's ballsy.
KP double. Knights 13 plus. That was a go. When KP went over just before half time, I said, "Give him the fucking ball. Get over, son."
And then I had to text you
over.
say he's going to be off very
Yeah, you
shortly.
messaged me to go. He's coming off. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he's not going to be finishing the game. Yeah, good predictions, boys. Wooden spoon. We've said
I reckon Dolphins. I reckon.
you've gone
Yeah, I reckon
Finns?
Wayne leaving. Who's taken over that coaching role? I can't even
is it
remember.
Wolf?
Wolf. Yeah.
Wolf, yeah.
Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think just losing Wayne there, I think it's just going to be a big loss. They've still got a good team. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I mean. They've still got a
got a
good
great
side.
team.
I just think they're dogs. I think Dolphins are dogs. I think Wayne's instilled that belief in
Yeah.
them and that
Yeah,
dog
that's true.
mentality, and I don't think that's going to disappear in a year. I'm going the Rabbits for the spoon.
After a poor start.
Assuming
Tough start?
Trell comes back, Cam Murray, a few things, whatever, but yeah.
What's to go with this Lewis Dodd? Have we heard much about him? He's
I don't know
UK
much.
import, isn't
Yeah,
he?
I
Nah.
like to ask Bryce in that.
Nah,
A couple of the boys.
I don't know much about him.
'Cause he hasn't really done much.
He's
in
a
the trials.
half?
Yeah, he's 7. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sticking with.
He's out round 1 now. He's missing round 1.
Yeah, nah, they're down the bottom for me. Bad
Yeah.
luck. What are you going?
Yeah, I had. I thought this was like I said, the toughest to answer. But I think Dolphins or Raiders.
Yeah, okay.
It's so hard, mate. Like that
should be a good year, eh?
Everyone looks quite good. I think
you literally
like
don't know.
Like we were saying, it's just like injuries, depth, and then poor start. Like some teams have quite a good draw to the first 12 rounds.
Your draw was pretty good for the first 5-6 weeks. Do you think?
Yeah.
I thought I was having a look the other day, and I thought that there's quite a few winnable games there. Got a little bye, sneaky 2 points there.
Yeah, I think our bye is round 4, so we want to start fast.
Start nice. Yeah. Finally, boys, any players to watch this year? My 2 players to watch are Jesse Arthurs and Zachy Lomax. I think Jesse Arthurs is a dog.
Yeah.
He played really
a good looking dog.
Yeah.
Or that new hairstyle.
Yeah, it works.
Actually, Gab said, "Who's that winger?" When we were watching. I swear
she did.
God,
no, she said it to me. She said it to me. She goes, "He's not a bad looking bloke."
She's like, "What's that winger's name?" I said, "Oh, Jesse Arthurs." She was like, "Oh, he's all right, eh?" Said,
yeah, she said it to me.
That.
They look better with their headgear on.
Just keeping her boyfriend on her toes. Her boyfriend's out the back. Who's that winger in the team? Jesse Arthurs for me, big year. I think Brisbane look unbelievable. Ben, when you've got kicking options, Ben Hunt and
he's massive.
Reynolds either side of you.
Yeah, that's massive to get Benny Hunt in.
Give it to him.
Since Ezra's out, nearly half the season.
I don't know.
Is he really?
Well, I don't think he comes back round 10, doesn't he? After his charge, I think it's about that.
Still, like him to slip back into that.
That's what I mean. If you've got, you got Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt for your halves, and then when Ezra comes back, I dare say Benny Hunt will go to your 9, and then that's a solid spine.
They look
and then
good.
Reece Walsh coming off the back.
And
That's wild.
Pretty good.
Carrigan,
Haas.
They got some dogs.
If they stay injury free, they're going to be pushing.
Just quietly, Zachy Lomax looks unbelievable, and I'm a straight shooter, boys. I love my misses, but he looks juicy. Big Lomax. He was actually at Pinpoint the other day. Big unit.
Ripping in.
Apparently the girls were excited.
Yeah.
And cough. Cough. We're excited.
You would have heard cough from bloody Melbourne.
But they're my 2 players. Watch this year. Blakey, anyone?
I thought last night that Jackson Purdue, I thought the centre for Cowboys, I just thought like a nice roughie. Like, he looks
Young Tubber.
good.
Yeah.
Nice roughie. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him. I saw a couple highlights of him.
I thought he was nice.
Reminds me of like Kurt Mann sort of build. Like,
he was good on the weekend. Did you see any of the highlights of Dogs?
Yeah, Kurt Mann. That sort of player. Your one you're talking about. I don't have anyone. No. I hope they all go bad.
True. Any players watch for you, Jay?
I haven't really thought about it. I was just thinking about it just then. KP, you'll probably be able to touch on it a bit more, but I'm hoping big Lockie Sharp can have a big year. If he's grabs that jersey by its horns and makes it his own. You'd probably be able to tell us about how much of a trend.
You mean Fletch?
Fletchy, sorry, Fletcher, sorry.
Fletcher's brother.
Fletchy, yeah. I was still thinking about Lockie Garman. What a man. That transition from wing to 5'8", I don't know how big that is in regards to say like defense and stuff like that. But I think if he can really perform and grab that jersey, and then if we can have say a solid Cogger or Gamble in the 7 or whatever it is, and we can just lock that up a little bit, I think that's where we're going to go well.
Yeah, no, it's obviously a big difference for him, but he's a natural footy player.
Yeah.
He's probably a natural fullback.
Yep.
But he's just someone that he's so good that you just need him around the footy on the field. He'll come up with moments this year, and we'll sit back and go like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Like I already know he's going to come up with those sort of moments, and it's just for us around him, just letting him do that, and everyone else sort of controlling the game a little bit more.
Yep.
But he's only young. He'll learn so much.
Yep.
Finally, boys, I want to wrap up with our last segment presented by myself, Bailey. It's called Explain the Photo. I literally just made this up last night. I'm going to, boys, go back through... I was going through Instagram last night. You boys know that. Yeah. And I found some old photos, and I just want you to touch on the photo. So be prepared. That, skeletons out of the closets here. KP, I'm going to start with you, mate. Photo number 1. Just want you to explain the photo. What was going on here, mate? And where were you? And what was happening?
What was that? I think that was a team dress up, and I don't know what the theme was. And for some reason, what are they called?
The Wiggles.
The Wiggles, yeah.
What are they called?
I was thinking Teletubbies. The Wiggles.
Teletubbies.
The Wiggles. That was fucking 5 years ago.
Team dress up.
4 years ago.
Mate, my finger was sore from scrolling that far back. Blakey, I've got a photo for you, mate. Where were you here, mate? What was going on here?
Oh, mate.
Rig.
Damn.
Is that's
wasn't even
afternoon,
flexing
isn't it?
Mate, there's no line on that rod. You're just holding the rod.
Nice big flatty after that one. No.
There's no line on it.
Mate,
He's just take a photo of me holding this rod. There's no line on it.
Show me. Have a go at the
Where were you there, mate?
Mate, I was actually Port Macquarie. That's our holiday spot.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Young CJ Gordon taking that photo for me, just boosting the profile
Shout
a
out
little
CJ.
bit.
That's nice.
That's gold.
That's nice.
Gotta
There's
do
no line on it, you reckon? Just a
KP,
bare rod.
explain this photo, part 2. KP, where
That
were you
was
here, mate? Which
day
year
one,
was
I
this?
think.
Was that when you first moved here?
Yeah, just a young, fresh-faced kid.
What was
Day
one-
one.
What were you? What was
fuck.
What were you thinking about there, mate? Milkshakes, probably. Probably not thinking about a whole lot. Day
Nah,
one.
I probably wasn't thinking about a whole lot back then.
And just quietly had a blinder that season. Think less is the motto there. Blakey, I got another one for you, mate. What's going on here? Now, I was a little bit concerned with this one. Not so much the photo, just the
Doesn't
caption.
mind a shirt off one.
Be good.
That was Be Good.
Be good.
That's what
Not
it
a
is.
shirt
Be
off.
Good.
Doesn't mind a shirtless,
No.
shirtless photo.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Very,
Well,
very
where were you here, mate?
Single in
I'm glad you cleared that up. I needed that
I was
clarification
playing,
too.
I was
All right, it's not about the dog. He's talking about himself.
Single, yeah.
Be good.
that we were at a house party after what was it? Dogwood Invitational in Atlanta.
Mate, this is a textbook, just hook, line, and sinker. I've
Yeah,
ever seen
he
one.
had the rod before.
Yeah.
Now he's got the fucking
He had
hook.
he had the rod with no line. Now he's got the dog with the biceps. What have we got for KP? Just part 3 for KP. Run us through this one, KP. Explain the photo.
Oh, gee.
Do you remember that time?
Yeah,
that
dude.
weekend.
That was in Melbourne. That was a nice. That was a good weekend.
Oh, that was crazy.
That was just me and you, mate, being two mates.
That was.
Standing on the corner of a busy road, probably looking like idiots,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yeah.
Staring at nothing.
We would have been talking that much rubbish. Finally, Blakey,
Shirt off?
part 3. We got a shirt on.
Oh.
Actually,
yeah,
should
I
have kept the
definitely
theme.
wasn't playing
That's nice.
basketball. I just took the photo.
That's a nice little vibe.
Young Kai in
nice
the middle
photo.
there playing with some strangers.
Shout out to Kai. He's supposed to be here today, but unfortunately, he's had a baby. So, sorry, as in,
Wasn't able to
Fortunately,
sorry.
fortunately.
I mean, fortunately, he's had a baby. Unfortunately, he's not here, but fortunately, he's had a baby. Jeez, clear that up because I'm very happy for Kai, obviously, and daddy calls, right? So, that'll wrap up this week's episode, guys. This has been, I think, 24. Scarfy was 23.
Any bold predictions in personal life?
Oh, just
For you two?
Bold predictions this year.
Any ring or no?
Nah, shit.
Oh, man.
Actually, I've got to check that account. I
Yeah.
mean, $10,
I've got to check that account.
$10 a week. Boys, the key is with the ring, you just chip away. If anyone's out there thinking of proposing, just chip away at a ring.
Chip away.
Just check that account.
Lab diamonds, chip away.
It's in your sports bet. Check it there.
It's going to be nice to make top 8 this
Just
year.
got to make sure
$4.
Randwick number 8 gets up this
Oh,
weekend.
mate.
Nah,
Believe
joking.
me, there'll be something going on there.
Any bold predictions?
I reckon I could bench 150 this year. That was 135. That's not important. Bold predictions. What am I? I actually believe that I'm going to win the tipping comp. And if you haven't joined my tipping comp, BT Elite Tips, make sure you join.
was
There's
well
already
done.
105 members. And
Unreal.
it's free to play. So you've still got a bit of time to join in.
Is it like anyone can join?
Anyone can join,
Or
free to
limited
play.
spots?
First prize.
Nah, not limited
Nah,
spots.
I'm not that good yet. I haven't got that many
Should have
followers.
pumped it up like
yet.
that so they get in.
It's actually not limited at all. It's quite the opposite, really. I need more people, and you have to follow me to win. So bold predictions for me. I'm going to win the comp, tipping comp. Anything for you, mate, this year? You're in the tipping comp. You could be a smoky.
Yeah, well, back to back in the family.
True.
Family comp.
Family comp.
Back to back.
True. Now I've got. It started with just the boys, KP. Now I've got Millie in. So Blake's sister. I've got
Yeah.
Blakey in.
My
Now I've
dad,
got Shana
yeah.
in too. So I've got a few of the Windreds in the family comp.
What's the prize? Is there a prize or is
cash
it just
prize? So it's $50 to play.
Yep.
Campbell, Joshy, all the boys are in that.
Oh, nice.
We've got 15 members. So 5 times 15 is 500, 750 in the kitty. So we'll probably do similar.
Any
to
joker
last year.
rounds?
Nah, not with that one.
Nah, not the family.
Nah, I put too much time in our punters club, eh? Funniest thing for anyone out there who has a punters club, you probably understand this, but as the CEO of the club, I take a lot of responsibility with the punters club. And every cycle we go through, and this is just information no one really gives a shit about, but we'll say it anyway. I put in time and create like a mini game for our punters club. So like, for example, and he gives me so much shit for this. Like I spend so much time on this. Our last one we did like it was called the dice game. So I was the dice master. I don't know if this is super like weird, but you would
if you
basically
don't care, you can turn it off.
Yeah. We're done. We've got no more after this. But
like, comment, subscribe, whatever.
Yeah. Whatever you want. You don't have to don't. But you would go through. You'd have an opponent head to head in the punting game. You get sent $10. Most profits would go forward. If you both lost, I'd roll an online dice, and if your number come up, you would go through instead of the other person. So, long story short, Joshy won, but the boys gave me some flack after it and said it was the worst game they've ever played in their lives. So,
what a shit!
I actually thought it was a great game. But anyway, thanks for tuning in today. Hopefully, we've had a few listeners. Thanks, KP, for coming on, mate. I know you love talking about footy, but
thanks for having me, mate.
But it's cool to get some insight. And obviously, Blakey, thanks for being here. Jay, thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
See you guys next week. Thank you. Peace.